15 million people in the UK snore, and if you're not a snorer yourself, the chances are somebody has kept you awake with their snoring, and it's no joke. There are all sorts of reasons why people snore. Maybe you've got a cold, maybe you sleep on your back rather than on your side, maybe you've had a little bit too much to drink, or maybe you've got some nasal problems. But what we're looking at here is two couples who have solved their sleeping problems by using the Sleep Pro mandible mouthpiece. Firstly, let's meet Malcolm and Suzanne, who live near Chichester.
It probably started about 20 years ago when I first come to London when I was away on a business trip. I didn't appreciate just how bad my snoring was until I shared a cottage with 15 other work colleagues, which resulted in me being moved out the next day into a hotel by my MD. I managed to wake up the whole of the cottage with 15 people in it.
Yes, you see, he never believed how loud his snoring was. He said it was my imagination. So at last this proved that it wasn't just me.
When we returned back to the office, I was called in by the MD, and she suggested, very light-hearted, this was all done, but she suggested that after numerous complaints from work colleagues, the company decided that I should go off and have an operation. So I was packed off to a private hospital. They investigated what the problem was, and I had an operation on the roof of my mouth, removing excess skin from the roof of my mouth. I had a raging infection from it. I was very ill for about a month, I should think. It did stop it from
that didn't work, so a few months later you were taken back into hospital and they removed his uvula. The bit that,
is uvula?
Uvula, the bit that dangles down the back of your throat. He had that removed in an attempt to stop the snoring. That didn't work.
Went back to the hospital again. They said that they would investigate it, which resulted in me going into hospital, being knocked out, made to snore effectively, and then they realised the problem was my jaw had fallen back into my mouth, restricting my airways, and that's what was causing all the snoring, not the vibration that everyone thought it was. Hence, I investigated on the web, found the Sleep Pro Gum Shield. That works because it pulls my jaw forward and stops the snoring.
Right, so you had all these operations and all the rest of it, and it was simply down to your lower jaw, just dropping down. Is that right?
Dropping back. So when I sleep, my jaw falls back, restricts my airways, and results in the snoring.
And has there been any reason why your jaw is dropping down in a way that it never used to before?
No one ever come up with a reason why, but it was, I mean, I was literally on the table for minutes, and as soon as I was asleep and snoring, they just pulled.
They figured out what was going on.
They pulled the jaw forward.
So once again, you've had the Sleep Pro 1 for 8 years. You replace it on a regular basis. Hello, dog. And you've had no problems with it at all over all this period of time.
No, none at all.
Because some people say that it sometimes you wake up in the morning, you've got jaw ache, something like that. Not had any issues like that?
The only time I do get a jaw ache is when I replace it, and then the first time I mould it, it might be slightly off or not as comfortable, so I just remould it again with the experience and I get it right, and then I don't wake up with any jaw ache.
Fantastic. And from your perspective, this is just solve the marriage and
right.
cure the marriage and
exactly.
cure the problems, and everybody's happy.
27 years on and we're still married, so
Fantastic.
yes, definitely.
Fantastic. So you'd be quite happy to advise people that this is a good direction to take?
Certainly.
Yeah,
Certainly.
definitely.
Right, well, thank you very much, guys.
So there you have it. A man who snores loud enough to keep his 15 workmates as well as his good wife awake has his problem solved with the Sleep Pro 1. What a result. Now let's have a chat with Brian and Jan in Southampton.
Since you've been using the Sleep Pro, yes, I will look adoringly into your eyes before you use the Sleep Pro. My hands were really around your throat.
Yes, you did hear correct. Until they started using Sleep Pro, Jan did have her hands around Brian's throat. Oh dear, looks like they were having some real problems. Let's hear some more.
Sleep Pro 1.
Yeah, right. Well, Jal and I have been married for about 6 years, and when we got married, we never got married to sleep apart really, and that's what was happening very early on, that my snoring was just too much for her. And so it was a question of trying to do something about it. I had the usual sleep clinic tests, 85 decibels, louder than a double-decker bus. So she was sleeping with a little bit of a problem.
So let's get this right. You were basically having to sleep with a double-decker bus.
That's true, yes.
Right. Okay.
Very noisy.
Yes, which is a bit of an issue, isn't it? So were you getting any sleep at all?
Intermittent, not good quality sleep, and that's what I needed, yes.
So that's going to put a strain on relationships fairly quickly, isn't it?
It did, because we were both waking up very, very tired and quite irritable in the morning,
Yeah. So once you discovered that this was a serious problem, where did you go from there then?
I was referred to a surgeon at hospital, and I ended up having 2 nasal operations to open the airways, increase airflow, in the belief that would help the situation. But it didn't really. After you've left it a few months to allow the effects of the operation to take place, there was really no significant improvement.
So here we have a second poor chap who's been through a couple of painful operations trying to solve his snoring problem to no effect. And it hasn't been until Sleep Pro have arrived that the situation's been resolved. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Okay guys, so we were talking about the operation which really wasn't very successful, and you looked on the internet and found out about the Mandels and Sleep Pro. So tell me, what happened when you got the Sleep Pro? This was the Sleep Pro 1, was it?
Yes, yeah. I didn't think I should invest into the more expensive one in case I didn't get on with it.
Yeah.
So it seemed a reasonable starting point, yeah.
So the Sleep Pro 1 arrived, and did you have any problems with the instructions or with getting it set up?
Absolutely no. The instructions were really clear. That came. It was on A4 sheet.
Yeah. Really
clear. Yeah. No problem.
And you noticed an immediate improvement?
Straight away, yes.
Straight away,
yes. From the first evening, there was an improvement. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what's the situation now? Are you getting a full night's sleep, or you got perfectly used to it? Did you wake up in the morning and get a sore jaw because you had the Mandel device in?
I did, I suppose, at the beginning have a period where I was aware that there was some discomfort with my teeth and things were moving around. But no, within a few minutes, about 20 minutes of removing the device, everything seemed to return to normal, and I have no problems with it at all.
Fantastic. So you'd heartily recommend it to other people?
Thoroughly recommend it, and we have recommended it to various work colleagues. Yes, and they've taken advantage of it and they're using it as well.
Fantastic. Yeah. So thumbs up to Sleep Pro all round.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So there you have it. 2 chaps with real snoring problems. Both of them had operations to try and relieve their snoring, and in both cases the operations weren't successful. Both these lovely gentlemen decided to try to use the Sleep Pro mandible mouthpiece, and that is a mouthful. Happily, in both cases, it resolved their snoring problems to the great delight of their wives. Now everybody's getting a good night's sleep. So, if you're looking for a snoring solution, you may well find that the Sleep Pro mandible mouthpiece is their answer for you. You can buy it online from www.sleeppro.com.